Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Free Range Connections, the podcast where we talk about real student life here at McEwen University. I'm your host, Aisha, and
I'm Estefania. Today's episode is called Harmonizing Roots and Rhythms. And we're going to be talking about how to blend cultures, like how it's coming to Canada, what does it feel tasting different foods, being here, getting to know other people, blending into the Canadian culture. And to do that, we have a really special guest. Please, with us,
Hello.
Maade. Yes. So we're here today with Maade. I bet many of you guys have seen her in Breakfast Club, in Makerspace, as the Student Association's governance promotion part of it. She's everywhere, but it's not going to be me telling you about that. Please, Maddie, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you. Which program are you? What do you do here in SAMU? Everything.
For sure. So first off, thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here. I'm Maade, as clearly spoken. First year, I wish. 4th year comp sci student.
that's so real.
4th year comp sci student. And I work in the makerspace. I volunteer with SAMU through the pantry, and I do a bit of promotions, but you don't see me promote a lot this semester. I've just been a little busy, but I mostly do promotions, as well as I'm part of student governance, so I'm one of your student counselors that has been elected into my position.
Yay!
Yeah,
It's
other than that,
super
I don't do too much, honestly.
just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Not a lot.
Absolutely love that. But thank you so much for joining us in our podcast today. And as Estefania already said, we're talking about harmonizing roots and rhythms. So can you tell us a little bit about your background, your culture, just growing up? What was it like for you?
For sure. So I am Ghanaian Canadian, and my parents came from Ghana, I was born here in Canada, but I go back to Ghana every 3 to 4 years whenever we can. We went back last summer for a family reunion. It was very fun. We had a lot of fun seeing a lot of family, finding our culture, just seeing our grandparents and great grandparents' hometowns, which was really fun. But I feel integrating my Ghanaian culture to Canadian culture is a bit tough sometimes because a lot of the things that, I love to do in Ghana, like eat peanut butter soup or okra stew, I'm not bringing that to school because people will be like, what is that? But, I was pretty lucky that the school I grew up in had a bit of multicultural. So when I brought my jollof to school, everyone's like, that smells great. Can I have some? And I'm like, no. But
Just say Nigerian jollof rice is the best jollof rice.
whoa, I didn't say Nigerian jollof.
No, you said Nigerian.
I said I'm Ghanaian, so why would I? Anyway, so but honestly, I think I was just really proud of my culture a lot of the time. So whenever it was Culture Day, I'd wear my kaba and slit, or I'd wear my African print clothes, my kente cloth and stuff like that. And when I graduated from high school, I had a kente cloth made with my name on it, so you could see she's African, she's Ghanaian, 'cause she's the only one that had that. So it was fun. But yeah, I think that's a little bit of how my growing up a bit and stuff like that. But no.
I feel like that's quite different and great. And I'm just saying this just because my follow-up question was gonna be how do you do to blend here but not losing part of your culture?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you just describe how perfectly you can have both here in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's really great, differentiation, knowing that you're different than others, but carry that with proudness is amazing. So let's say if you could bring something from Ghana and put it here in Canada and be I want this to be here because I don't want to forget this about my culture, what that would be?
That's a great question. I feel like this is kind of weird, but I love the market sellers. Specifically the people who will walk between your cars and sell you food, with the baskets on their head, because they worked hard to make that and they've been walking around for hours just trying to sell it. I just love how convenient it is. I feel like we should just bring it back because when the highways are backed up and you're sitting there, if I could have some achomo on the side, maybe a bofro in my hand while I'm waiting in my car, fire.
Listen, that's actually the perfectest answer in the world. Sometimes you would be in traffic and you would just be craving the gala I don't know if you know what gala is, but if you know, you know what gala is. It's like a sausage that they sell in traffic. It just it fills your tummy. We don't have gala here, unfortunately, in Canada, but that's okay. However, if we did bring those kind of people here, it would be absolutely amazing, and they would make a lot of money
Oh
too.
yeah,
They're
oh
making
yeah,
money
so
here.
much money because they
Yeah.
sell not just food. It's like my mom bought Monopoly one time from the I'm not joking. She bought Monopoly from like a seller that was in like the walking past their car. She's like, okay, give me that. I'll have that Monopoly. And
I'll take
you're
a
like,
monopoly. That's so cool. See, that's what we're talking about. What culture would you in Canada? And obviously, we love the Canadian culture here. That's why we're here, right? But tell me where you would be driving to, and you would just be able to purchase Monopoly while driving in a car. I don't think that's possible.
You
cannot
say
find
it.
that
No, you
here.
can't.
No.
Like a legal place.
You would have to get out of your car and walk in the trenches and the snow through trials and tribulations just to get to this Monopoly.
I'm
So,
telling you.
yes, bring those people here. Great answer.
Thank
Which
you.
brings us to our next question. So, now that you've talked about a little bit of, your culture growing up, the thing you want to bring over here, follow-up question to you would be, what is a culture like a cultural practice? Was there like a cultural shock that you experienced when you first got to Canada? Tell us a little bit about that, an experience you had. What was that like for you?
Well, since I was kind of born in Canada, I'm more used to like the Canadian culture. So when I went to Ghana, and like they can tell when you're a foreigner. So I remember I walked up to a seller, tried to like say my paucho wuhutase, and they just looked at me up and down. They said, okay, so what do you want? I'm like, oh, my bad. So it was kind of shocking to like see how they just like knew immediately by the way I walked and like by the way I carried myself that I don't live in Ghana, which was a bit jarring because everyone like looks at me and like they like all like speak similar to me, but then it's like they're speaking Tree, they're speaking Krobo, Ga, all over the place, and I'm like, can someone please speak English? Like I don't know what's going on. But then yeah, coming back to Canada, it's definitely a culture shock when you go from seeing all black people to like our whole like multicultural that we have here, and it's like, oh, I'm back to being a minority. Like wait, I don't mean that in a bad way.
No, you're good.
It's
You're
true.
good. Please, you are good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was the biggest shock because like when I went last time, I was with my cousins and my aunts and uncles, and all of us were just standing outside of like a mall. My mom's like, let's go inside. I'm like, why? Like we're fine out here. Just all of us standing out here having fun. We're not doing anything crazy, but that she even said that, I was like, oh, it's different like in Ghana than it is in Canada, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you just make me like really curious about you because you just mentioned that you were born here in Canada.
Yes.
But somehow when you go to Ghana for like every 4 months, every 4 years, sorry, you feel like you're part of there. So somehow you've been growing here your whole life, but here you still are a minority. But there it's like that's my people. Even if they recognize that I don't speak like them and I don't work like them, and it's you still feel like home when you're there. So how is that inside of you? Like how do you feel about that? Because the reality is like you were born here, your friends everywhere, like you went to schools with kids from everywhere. So how's that feel? Because it for other people it could be like such a strange place, right? Like never been there. It's where my parents go. Oh my God, now I'm forced to go to my aunties, my grandma. I cannot behave like this and that. Like people can go and like. And people, especially our age, right? Here, there's so much freedom, and like in many other cultures, parents are more conservative and stuff like that. But you still feel at home there. So how do you cope with that? Like how is it? Like what makes you feel like home when you're there?
I think it's probably my grandma and all my family because whenever we go to Ghana, we always go to my grandma's house because she lives in Tema, and that's always our home base. So we always go there, and it's the same house, same street, same everything. So we've been going there like since I've been born. Just keep going back every 4 years. So I think it's because we start at her place. That's the sense of familiarity that I get, and that I really relish in because she's always like, oh, I know you like this, I know you like that, let's go here, let's go do that. And so we'll go to the market together, and when I'm with her, it doesn't feel as scary as if I was going by myself. Or with when we go to like, I don't know, like Accra, like the main city, we just drive around. It's like, I just like to see like, oh, I've seen that before. Oh, I've been past there before. It's just like pointing out landmarks or kind of just with the people I'm with, specifically my grandma. She definitely like helps to glue us together a bit and be like, okay, guys, let's go. Like it's time to leave. We're like, all right, let's go do something like now. So But yeah, just because my family is with there, that's what really helps me to feel like I belong when I'm there.
Okay, so you have like a united family.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're really big. We're really big.
I love that. I love
No,
that.
it's big because like I remember we went. I think it was 5 years ago now, and we were there. My dad's side, he has like a very large extended family, and they have a gathering of all the family members every year in November, no December. So we happened to be there. So we went to the gathering, and I saw over like 60 people who I've never met before, but we were all related. And I'm like, oh my gosh, and they're like, yeah, only like half of us came. I'm like, what? This is just half of us? What do you mean there's more people hiding somewhere? So it was like that sense of like, oh my gosh, like I have so many people I could like connect with and like start talking to and like kind of make my own like kind of circle here in Ghana because we are all family. Those people who were there were all my family. We were all related to each other one way or another. So it was just like really jarring to see just all those people, you know?
You see, that makes absolutely so much sense because, again, it is a very common practice amongst African families to have large families. And no matter how large they are, they're usually very tight. They're usually very interconnected with each other. I relate to that as well because my dad is the exact same. He carries his extended family on his head. Like, he carries them like a crown. His children could be drinking from bottles. Let me not make it seem like my father does not take care of me because he absolutely does. He's a wonderful man. But his family will be drinking wine out of wine glasses. You know what I mean? And it doesn't mean to say that we didn't drink out of wine glasses. It's just when they were there, we were drinking out of bottles. And that's fine with us because obviously we get to drink out of wine glasses all the time. So having such a big family is a great way for you to create networking opportunities. It's also a great way for you to, learn about the culture, your traditions, your history. Speaking of family, because I was actually really shocked when I found out you grew up here. I thought you were an international person. I mean, you are an international person. But I actually genuinely thought that, you moved here probably when you were young and, had to get accustomed to the Canadian culture. But technically, your culture is actually Canadian culture. Then you had to go home and experience what the African culture is like, the Ghanaian culture is like. So it seems like your family is very tight. It seems like when you go back to Ghana, when you go back to Ghana, you get to experience the culture in its fullest blown form. But when you come back here to Canada, how does your family work towards maintaining that kind of cultural impact that influences the way you were brought up, the way you act, the way you think? How does your family work towards, and how do you also work towards maintaining those cultural impacts that you had growing up or you have in Ghana?
Well, technically, when I was born, my parents sent me to Ghana for a year because my sister was going to be born soon, so like I can't take care of two kids. So I was in Ghana for like 1 year.
My God.
So I don't know if that counts.
I don't know what you're talking about. I do not relate to you.
I had to try it anyway. But I think some ways that I work towards like kind of preserving that Ghanaian culture here in Canada is like when my grandma, like she gave me this necklace and these earrings. So whenever I can, I always wear like my Ghanaian earrings, my necklaces, my waist beads, and all these things. And my mom makes a bunch of Ghanaian food like peanut butter soup, okra stew, like palm oil soup, like all these fun things. And then also our community. I think that when I was growing up, a lot of my aunts and uncles were also Ghanaian, so we'd always have like big parties, big house parties, where it's just you're blasting old. Next time I'll invite you for sure. We're blasting old Ghana music, so like Daddy Lumba, playing some kiddies, playing some, no, what's his face, Azonto and all that. And
Shakur.
yeah. Exactly, like P squared and all that stuff. So all that old Ghana music, we're always playing it. So always like tree in the background of everything. So much suya. Oh my gosh, I love it. So much suya. But I think like having those connections, like meeting other people, because other like they bring their kids, right? So I'd always hang out with the kids. Some of them are older than me, some of them are younger than me, but we all just like kind of come together knowing that we're there because we're all Ghanaian and we're all just here to just party. So having that connection to like my extended family friends was like really important to me. I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna go party till 2 a.m. because I'm at like my uncle's house and we were listening to like Daddy Lumba till like the nights just goes. So
Wow. Actually, like, guys, I know some of you got lost when they were talking about like some music and food. And this is the beauty of culture, right? Like, I don't get to fully understand a Ghanaian culture and also not like a Nigerian culture. Myself, like, I'm a Latin person. And for example, if people ask me, I might not have the exact same food and like not the exact same music, but like, for example, the family gatherings, like the customs, like how do we relate to each other, how we spend time with each other, how we build community. Those stuff are still really similar, and I feel like even like here in Canada, many families from like the countryside, they are still like huge. Like they're still huge, so they're still like have many brother, many sisters. There's always kids around. In our parties, there's always kids around. There's no party that there's no kids around, and everybody can be drinking, but kids they are behaving well. So you guys see like even though like differences are there, I feel like we still get like united by the same kind of like community and family oriented perspective. So that's actually like quite great. Now, like talking about also other cultures, growing up in Canada also like allows you to experience many cultures outside yours, right? Like for example, Asian cultures, Latin American cultures, Central American cultures, European culture. So, which other of like these cultures from around the world did you have the opportunity to like get to meet, experience? Maybe you have like a friend that is Filipino, and then their mom invite you like for food, and then you're trying something from like their culture. So how does it feel, getting to know other cultures, or like is there anyone is it any culture specific that you feel that you can truly relate to?
Probably not fully relate to, but I know that when my sister was in high school, her friend's grandma made these fire pupusas. Fantastic. I love pupusa so much. But no, a lot of times my mom would just try and like just branch out whenever she wants to cook some things. Sometimes we'd go to Southside and I'd get some like Indian food. So you get like gulab jamun, jalebi, like all these things, and samosas and whatever. And then we go home and I just absolutely hound that stuff. Or we'd go like to the Polish deli and we get like some really like good Polish meats. Or you go to Chinatown and get some like brown eggs, which I love. Fire. I can all the jokes, whatever, it's fine. But it was really good, and I think it's just like there's no one culture that I fully know well other than my own, but I've definitely like dipped my feet in a lot of the different cultures that we have here in Canada.
Now, let's expand the scope a little bit more. Let's talk about having international students that are coming here that want to figure out where to buy things so that they can make foods that are a little bit close to home. Put us on. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Sure. So one place I love to go, my mom always goes to, is Kaswa. There's Kaswa on, is it 127?
I don't know where it is.
127. There's one south side too.
There's also one on the west side.
Yes, thank you.
Oh.
I love it. My mom knows a lady of Kaswa, like personally, because like when she first set up the shop, my mom was like going there constantly.
Oh.
So like we always get our sweetbread from there, we get our plantain chips from there, we get our cassava from there, we get the chicken, we get all the
Spell
oxtail.
cassava for us, please.
Cassava?
Yes.
Is it with a C or a K?
It's okay. I got you. It's okay.
Cassava. I'm not spelling that
It's
though.
okay. We're good.
We call it like
So-
yam.
Yeah.
I can spell yam for you.
You can
Y-A-M.
Good
Yeah.
job.
Kaswa. That's where my mom goes for all the African food. There's also one that's actually close by McEwen. I think it's right by Tora Boba. It's called like Boomy's like African.
Boomy's is closed.
Yes. No.
No.
No, you're joking.
They're closed.
No.
It's temporarily closed.
Okay.
It's temporarily
Okay.
closed. Boomy's is
But yeah, I've been there. They sell like it for like a really good price. And then yeah, my mom's always like, I can make it myself, so we don't go out and buy African food. But if you're looking for like sweets, Mocha, fire. It's like a Turkish like coffee house, Mocha, and then yeah, but that's pretty good.
Yes. Okay, so as you guys notice, I don't know many of this food. Like, and don't get me wrong, the ingredients and the stuff that they use, they might be the same as ours, but we just don't eat the same food. But the important thing about this, and it's like I just noticing, guys, we all eat. Yeah. We all like food. We all can relate to like home cooked meal, right? So I feel like that's one of like the biggest things when you come to Canada. I think that when I first arrived here, one recommendation that the international office gave me was like at least learn how to cook one dish from back home. And I feel like for every person that is out there that is like not from here, I feel like every single friend that I have that doesn't know how to cook, they actually call their moms or their dads, and it's like, what do I need to do this, you know? So I feel like one of the closest way that we have to feel that we feel related to our cultures is actually through food. So that's actually like really great, something that we can find here. And Edmonton, I feel like it's still like pretty broad about it. Like for example, I just get to experience Chinese hot pot the other day, and I get to experience the African food when I'm with my friends that are from like Africa, and then I get to eat shawarmas, like Arabic shawarmas. So all I'm saying is like one way that you truly get to experience culture is to actually go out to these places to eat. Like sit in a different restaurant. You know, normally the people that is with you in a restaurant is treating you are normally from those countries, right? So for example, if you go to a Spanish restaurant, right, you will find people that they speak Spanish and that they know some recommendations and you might not know. So one thing that you can actually feel connected to other culture is like through food, and I feel like that's the best way that you have to experience it. So if you guys are feeling that you need to know some culture, start by tasting. Start by tasting their food.
Okay, great. So, follow up question, because yes, food is the greatest place to start if you're trying to learn about the multiple cultures, especially black cultures. There's a lot of lovely black cuisines, African cuisines that you can actually explore, and it gives you a taste of what that culture is like. Some of them are mild tasting, some of them are very heavily spiced, but you are guaranteed to get a very delicious tasting meal if you try an African cultural food. But speaking of just culture and, being an African person and being black, can you tell us a little bit more about the art that comes from yourself? Because previously you had mentioned that you are an artist. So, and as you all know, or if you don't know, Maade is actually a celebrity that appeared on the local news or the international news. We're not even sure.
It
She's
was
gonna
local. It was local. Please, it was local.
Okay. Soon to be
No.
international news, but she appeared on the local news, and you were privileged to interview a family member, your aunt, and that is very great because again, culture brings us together. Family always brings us together. But as an artist, tell us a little bit more about your artistic process, about how you kind of bring your black roots into the kind of art that you create, and how you make space for yourself in the art community in order to educate people about the African art.
Well, first off, very flattered that you're saying that I'm a celebrity. But yeah, I had the honor of being in an art show last year, and it was a learning experience 'cause I've never been in an art show before. So it was quite interesting to try and get my perspective out there. But being able to kind of like look inward, so I had to look based upon like kind of where my journey took me, like where I was when I was younger, where I was like maybe in high school and where I am now, kind of helped me to kind of pave my way to make my artwork. So looking at like the cultures that I saw when I was younger versus what I didn't see when I was in high school, and then to university being like so enwrapped in like a firmer culture than I had when I was in high school and growing up. So that's mostly my art journey. But yeah, being able to interview my auntie Helen was really like empowering because she just had so much wisdom about how she came here to Canada and how she persevered and how she was able to become like the face of one of the black organizations we have in St. Albert, which is like the African and African Descendants Friendship Club of St. Albert, which is a very long title. We mostly just shorten it. But she's worked hard to bring African culture to the forefront, bring black culture to the forefront of people's minds and people's like thoughts, and just being more aware of kind of what we go through and how we try to move forward.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for staying with us for this episode. As you can see, you never know what's gonna happen. See, Maddie in her first year, she dropped 2 classes. Aisha is the first person from her family that comes here. Like, it's the same case for me. And like, if you ask me, we could never expect this. I could never expect me be sitting here in front of you guys, and probably none of us. So what I would like to say is like explore your culture feel it with love, feel it with rage, be mad at it, be happy at it. You are allowed to feel, you are allowed to experience everything. You never know where that will take you. I feel like my culture take me here. The fact that I carry my flag with so much proudness is the fact that it's allowed me to sit right here in front of you. So I hope you guys have learned from us. I hope you guys can take many advices from Maade. Like, she does everything around here. You guys can always see her. If you see her around, she's probably more than welcome to answer more of you guys' questions. It's really nice to experience this. It's always beautiful to talk about culture. It gives us a sense of belonging, especially around this time of the year. So, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I just had just one quick note to make. Like Stephanie had said, take up space. Just make sure that you are constantly trying to learn. Ask questions. We're always open to answering any questions. Ask Stephanie, ask Maade, ask myself. Any friends that you have, if you're interested in finding out anything, make sure you ask questions. And if you are a Black person, just take up space because you deserve to be in that space. Lastly, if you are actually interested in learning a cultural thing, SAMU is going to be having a Afro-Caribbean dance workshop on the 23rd of February. It's going to be a free drop-in workshop, so you don't have to have any experiences. We're going to have lots of free food. There's going to be food from multiple different African cultures there, all free of charge as well. You don't have to buy any tickets or anything. Just make sure you drop in. It's from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. at the SAMU Lookout, so make sure you drop by if you want to learn how to shake it like we do over here. But otherwise, thank you guys so much for being here today. This has
Thank
been
you.
Free Range Connections, and we hopefully will be seeing you on the next episode. I don't know if Stephanie has any last words, but
No, I'm just very happy about having this talk, and hope to see you there, Feb 23. Guys, be there. It's gonna be fun. If you are not like identify yourself as Black, doesn't matter, guys. We're talking about trying new food, trying new hairstyles, trying new music, try new everything. You are already here, better as well. Enjoy something. So yeah, welcome.
and
Come.
before you go, do you have any last words for our guests or our listeners today?
Thanks for listening.
That's so fair. Oh my god. But anyways, this has been Free Range Connections, and bye for now. See you next time.